Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank everybody for coming to our Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for May the 26th of 2026. Been a minute. We did not have one last month, so get back into the groove of things today. A couple of things that would like to kind of address the public with. Number one is if we can make sure that anybody that has some type of audible device, a cell phone, an iPad, a watch, anything like that, please make sure that you have it off or silence so that we do not hinder or interrupt the proceedings as we move forward. I would also like to explain that the Planning and Zoning Commission is a recommending body, which means that as we have the applications that are presented to us, we go through our discussions. The votes that are taken here are a recommendation that will then be forwarded over to the Paulding County Board of Commissioners, and the Paulding County Board of Commissioners will be the ones that make the final decisions on every application that is presented. So again, we, the ones that you see up here, are a recommending body to the Planning and Zoning, to the Board of Commissioners. Those applications that are presented to date will then be forwarded to their rightful place, whether or not that is the Paulding County Board of Commissioners or whether or not that is the City of Hiram. So we do have some City of Hiram things to talk about today, but if I'm not mistaken, we are on today, May the 26th, unless these are wrong. It looks like the Board of Commissioners meeting will be June the 9th. Mr. Robinson, is that correct?
That's correct.
So applications that are looked at and reviewed today will then be moved forward to the June 9th Board of Commissioner meetings, and the applicants that are present today to present their application will also have to be present when their application is reviewed by the Board of Commissioners. The policy of the Planning and Zoning Commission allows every applicant 15 minutes to present what their application is and what goes on in their application, and anyone that wants to speak on behalf of that application also is allowed time to speak. Now, the 15 minutes is cumulative, so as you are speaking on behalf of an application and there are people that are wanting to speak on behalf of the same application, please be considerate of their time as we move through the review. Similarly, or the same, if you are in opposition of an application, the opposition will be afforded 15 minutes as well. And again, that is cumulative. So as people to get up and they want to voice oppositions or just have questions for any particular applicant or application, they have an opportunity to be able to do that. Just be mindful of their time. As people approach the podium, what we would like is you need to make sure that you sign in on the ledger on the right of the podium, speak into the microphone, and please make sure that you address all of your comments or questions to me, the chair. We want to make sure that we're not addressing those in the crowd. Everybody will have an opportunity to be able to speak if they would like. Now, I would like to ask everybody if they've had an opportunity to review the meeting minutes that we had from March 24th. And if everybody is in agreement, can we get a motion to approve the minutes from March the 24th, 2026 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a motion by Mr. Steele to approve and a second by Ms. Fitzgerald. All in favor? Passes unanimously. All right, Mr. Robinson, do we have any announcements that need to be made?
Just one, as you stated, most of the applications here will be forwarded to the Board of Commissioners meeting on June 9th, and that would be except 2026-05Z and 2026-02 SUP. That is, properties are being requested to be annexed into City of Hiram, and this would be a Hiram rezoning, which your recommendation would be forwarded to the Hiram City Council for their scheduled public hearing to be determined.
Thank you, sir. All right, with that, Mr. Robinson, would you like to present our first application?
Yes, sir, and thank y'all. This first application was tabled from the March meeting. It's 2026-03Z. It's an application by Jose Raul Castillo requesting to rezone right at 12.30 acres. It's considered tracts 2 and 3. It's zoned B2 Highway Business District, and they're asking to go to R1 Rural Residential District for the future development of 2 residential homes. The applicant also has requested a variance to reduce the minimal public road frontage from the 100 feet that's required in the R1 district to 30 feet. Property is located in land lots 318 and 319 District 1, Section 3. This is on the east side of Villa Rica Highway, also known as State Route 61, and south of Ridge Road. It's in Commission Post 2. There was an updated site plan that represents 100 feet frontage for both those tracts at this time. They are still seeking a variance on those. Staff has recommended approval with 2 stipulations and then the 1 variance. And we have no known opposition that's corresponded with planning and zoning, and the applicant is present.
Well, if we could have the applicant come forward, again, sign in at the podium.
Mr. Chairman, since we went through the initial, all we did was vote to table this, do we need to go through the whole thing all over again, since it's,
Just to clarify, has the public hearing already occurred? Okay, yeah, no more public hearing, but if there's any questions of the applicant from the commission, this would be the time to present those.
thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. I have no further questions.
I would like to ask, as you reviewed, as this was tabled and then has been presented back to us, you are acknowledging that you have reviewed the updated staff recommendations and the stipulations that are attached to the application?
Yes.
So exactly how wide, you've got a site plan now that's been updated. Are you wanting 100 feet for both driveways? Before it was 30 foot each. So you've got a site plan now with 200 foot driveway, so you actually got 200 feet instead of 60 feet. If you can clarify how that stands, and are you really asking for 200 feet?
So that's why we want the variance to come down to 30. So we'd have more of the B2 area. But in order for to this be approved, we are willing to do 100 for both.
So you want 30 foot for each parcel for the drive for
Yeah.
this R1 zone in the real parcel?
Yes.
So the current site plan that's in our packet, it indicates both of the accesses at 100 feet, correct?
Yes, 100.
But you're wanting to go back to what you had last month or the month of March, back to 30 footers.
Yeah.
So you're asking for that in the variance.
Yes.
And then we tabled it because we were looking at going to this option here, to go into 100 footers.
Correct.
Okay.
I'd like to ask Ms. Parrish, since this is a state road, do we have the ability to drop that variance to 30 foot? Would that be a minimum state requirement at 100?
I don't know Georgia DOT's requirements. I know they have minimum requirements, but I don't know if it's a minimum amount of road frontage. I think that might be more of a zoning requirement instead of a state DOT requirement.
The state DOT, sir, you didn't state your name and I forgot it, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Jose Castillo.
Jose, so have you reached out to the state DOT for your GDOT permits yet?
I have not.
Okay,
Not-
so they will mandate what your site distance requirements are, what your widths are. This variance would be for strictly to the zoning requirement or to the development standards of the 100 feet. So GDOT still may require that you have, certain width for your tapers and certain distance between your drives. They're probably, what they've done to others is ask you to do a combined drive. So they may only limit you or let you access with one driveway. And then you would have to put an easement on the driveway to separate the two parcels for ingress egress.
Okay. Yeah, that's something we're willing to do.
Okay. But just to clarify, you were asking for 30, but you're showing an updated site plan that shows 100. But if that third stipulation were to be removed, you said that you would still be willing to move forward with the zoning application,
Yes, sir.
the zoning that you're seeking.
Yes, sir.
I think what the original request was for 30 feet, but under the R1 zoning, 100 is the minimum. So in order to meet the zoning regulations and the development regs, you have to have at least 100 feet. So they've shown that the new site plan, I'm assuming they're showing what meets current regulations, and they're asking for a reduction from 100 feet down to 30 for each one. And then rezone, we would have to rezone this to R2 or R1 in order to meet the residential requirement of the zoning. So it's a zoning and a combination of a special use permit for a reduction of required road frontage, which in our regs is 30-foot minimum under R2, but not under R1. So I think that's where the 100 feet came in to begin with.
So question for Mr. Robinson. If we approve it with the variance, it does not go to development waiver for the reduction of
No, this is
Okay.
just a requirement of the R1 zoning district.
the, okay.
What does the legal description define as what is being rezoned?
One reason that it was tabled in March and did not go to April is one fact that we had to re-advertise it because that increased the acreage by almost 3 acres to go to the 100-foot road frontage for each lot. So the acreage went from 9 plus to 12.3.
So we're taking out 3 additional acres of commercial along one of our state routes.
Close to 3 acres.
Could we do a waiver? Could we go 0 and put an easement in instead of rezoning that commercial property along the road frontage?
I'd have to look at it more in depth, but the easement, of course, is going to be up to the applicant as to whether or not we can't, I guess we could require an easement as a zoning stipulation, but I would be very hesitant to do that. I think that that would be something that the landowner would need to agree to do himself.
And the easement on the GDOT requirement, if they force you to do a combined drive, is only going to go back, to where you can separate. So if once it leaves Georgia DOT right away, they won't care about the easement. But you selling it to someone or to 2 individuals, you should have an easement for them accessing someone else's property until they split off and they're back on their own parcel.
Did it say, did they ever say what the legal description of what's being rezoned?
I mean, I guess a legal description would be based on the current survey
That's what I was wondering, if it was based on this site plan or the previous.
or the
Because
previous.
if we rezone, if we approve it and then it rezones, but then he gets a SUP for the 30-foot reduction, that section of the property is still going to be rezoned.
Jason, I have to ask, if they agree to the 2 30-foot strips, would that automatically reduce what's being rezoned from 200 feet to 60? If that makes sense.
Basically, would that B2 stay B2?
I'd have to look at the diagrams in more detail to be able to give you an accurate answer on that.
Question for the applicant while they're waiting. What are your proposals with the commercial piece? Are you working on developing it, selling it? What's?
So right now, we're still seeing what our options are towards it, which direction we want to go towards,
Okay.
whether it is selling or developing. So I don't really have a concrete answer for you right now.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just a note after discussion with our council. It is an opportunity that you could approve the prior site plan that showed the 60 feet of frontage instead of the 200 feet. And that would only zone the 60 feet from those two lots to Villarica Highway, not the other 140 feet. If that makes sense.
But you would still need the variance.
That's correct.
Are there any additional questions from the commission? Okay. Well, before us, we have a recommendation of approval of the application with 3 listed stipulations. Again, that recommendation of approval is based upon the presented site plan that we have for today's meeting, unless there is a recommendation to change that. So, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve with the 2 listed stipulations, and the third stipulation, amending that one to go back to the previous site plan that we had in March, that being 60 foot, 30 foot each, for each of the parcels, being 60 foot total.
I second.
Just so I clarify though, with that variance to go back to the presented site plan of March, we would still need the variance listed of the 100 to 300 foot for the 2 proposed lots. Is that, I mean, from the 100 to?
I think it has to be 30 foot each.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, 100 to 30
That's right.
for 1 times 2, or 60 feet for the
60
both.
total. Sorry, I jumped the gun here.
So I have a recommendation for approval with the 2 listed stipulations, with the third being that we would approve the site plan from the March 24th meeting, keeping the variance of the 100 foot to 30 foot for the 2 proposed lots.
30 foot each.
30 foot each, yes.
That's approving the variance.
That is approving the variance. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. So I have a motion and I have a second. All in favor? All opposed? I'm sorry? You vote for it? Okay, so approved unanimously.
Thank you.
Site plan.
All right, Mr. Robinson, if you would like to present our next application.
Thank you. The next application under new business is 2026-02, Site Plan Stipulation Amendment Application. This is by Hickory Creek Homeowners Association, Inc., and they're requesting a revision to the PRD, Planned Residential Development District Site Plan that was approved under 2004-15Z, and they're requesting requesting to do a small amenity on 1.63 acres. The property is in Land Lot 892, District 3, Section 3. It's on the west side of Shady Glen and Hawthorne Drive intersection. It's in Commission Post 4. Staff has recommended approval with 5 stipulations. There's not been any correspondence on any opposition. And just to clarify a little bit, this property or this development was zoned PRD in March of 2004. Went through plan review and such, and it received a final plat approval and was recorded with the Paulding Clerk of Court in 2006. And this piece of property has been existing green space since that time, and they're asking to, in lieu of the green space, put this amenity in there. And staff has recommended approval with 5 stipulations, and one of those steps is just the continuation of the prior rezoning steps.
Thank you. If the applicant can come to the podium, please again, write your name on the lectern and then let us know who you are. State your name, please.
Good afternoon, Danny Blumenthal with Gaskins LaCroix, 1266 Powder Springs Road in Marietta, Georgia. Actually, I would like to request a deferral on this matter. It's not typical that the site plans are fully engineered at this point in the process. And after submitting the site plan and taking a look at this with some of our engineers, there's, some questions that we have that we want to be able to make sure that what we present to you to be reviewed and voted on is what we fully believe is feasible for the site. So don't want to look like we're pulling a bait and switch on you. So for that reason, we'd like some additional time to make revisions to the site plan and come back before you next month. But we're happy to answer any questions that you have on that.
Mr. Chair, given what the applicant has said, I think that if the site plan is going to be revised, it would be appropriate to stop the public hearing at this point, entertain a motion to table this to the next Planning Commission meeting, and then resume the public hearing at that time based on the new information.
Understood.
I'd rather recommend that we don't have a public hearing today if they're going to be changing things up. That way the public will have the opportunity to comment at the next meeting.
Yep, understandable. With the information that the applicant has presented to us of a request for deferral, do I have a motion to table until the next planned zoning meeting?
I make that motion.
And do I have a second? All right, so all in favor of tabling? Passes unanimously.
Who said that?
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Robinson, if you would like to present our next application.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Next application actually are 2 applications. These actually will be considered within the city of Hiram if their pending annexation with Hiram is approved. This would all be heard at the same time. It's application, and I'll just say 2026-05Z and application 2026-02 SUP. Application by LG Hiram Property LLC is requesting to rezone 2 acres from B1 General Business District and B2 Highway Business District to B2 Highway Business District. within the city of Hiram with a special use permit. The applicant intends to continue the operation of an existing convenience store and would add additional retail space, which would include a package store. A petition to annex into the city of Hiram, as I have said, has been filed. Property is located in Land Law 892, District 2, Section 3. It's northeast corner of Bill Creek Parkway and Nebo Road. It's in Commission Post 3. The staff has recommended approval for the rezoning application with 2 printed stipulations, and for the SUP with 1 stipulation. The applicant is present, and we have not any noted opposition.
If we could have the applicant come forward, again, please state your name at the podium, write your name at the ledger, and then proceed with your.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Joel Larkin. I'm with the law firm Sands, Larkin and Huff in Marietta. I'm pleased to be here today. Chris, can you tell us what the 2 conditions are that are recommended? My report doesn't have them on it. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Okay, absolutely. On the rezoning application, the 2 conditions that staff has recommended is owner-developer agrees to provide a traffic study for the development and to coordinate with Paulding DOT on the methodology and parameters of the study. And number 2, owner-developer agrees to combine their 2 properties, which is parcel 181.3.3.031.0000 and 181.3.3.030.000 prior to permitting.
And on the SUP?
And on the SUP, it was the owner-developer agrees to provide a traffic impact study for development and coordinate with Paulding DOT on methodology and parameters of the study.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
As Chris indicated, this is a rezoning application that goes along with an annexation request. When we filed the annexation request, we initially thought that rezoning would not be required. The property is currently got a split zoning. The left-hand side where the convenience store is zone B1, and the right-hand side where we propose to expand is zoned partially B1 and partially B2. Both of these properties came from the Paulding County Building Authority, and they were the ones that had it rezoned. The existing convenience store, there's a mistake in my application. I noted that it opened in February 2024. It actually just opened in February of 2026. You no doubt noticed around the Paulding County area and in the metropolitan area, there were a number of convenience stores that started and took a while to develop, and this was one of those due to some construction issues. But the convenience store is open. It's fully licensed with its CO and its alcohol license, and we're not proposing to make any changes to that store. The retail center that was built includes both the convenience store and some additional retail space that has not yet been leased. And the applicant proposes to expand that building with an additional about 3,700 square foot of retail space, and then to lease out that would be about 5,000 square feet of retail space. One of the tenants that we propose to have would be a package store, and that's the reason for the SUP. The property is currently zoned, as I said. The zoning is required because the city attorney advised that because the city of Hiram has not adopted all the revisions that Paulding County has to their ordinance, then it's no longer the case that you can just annex without rezoning. So because it's split zoning, we're requesting that we make the whole property B2, which will match the Paulding County Building Authority property to the east. The property has currently got commercial property to the north and to the east. It abuts the city of Hiram on both road frontages, so it qualifies for annexation. That request has been filed and presumably forwarded to the Board of Commissioners. We're not aware of any opposition to the application as it is. The building that we're proposing to expand, we would continue to match the existing architecture. And with that, I'm prepared to respond to any questions that you may have.
Are there any questions to the applicant? Hearing no questions, I would like to offer up the opportunity for anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the applicant. Is there anybody who would like to speak on behalf of the applicant? Seeing none, is there anyone that would like to speak in opposition of the applicant? Sir, if you would mind, if you would take your position at the podium, please, again, sign your name in the ledger and state your name.
My name is Chas Colley. I'm here to oppose the expansion for the service station there at the corner of Bill Cruth and Nebo Road. I live directly behind the property. My house is the first house directly behind it. We already have a package store 9/10 of a mile down the street at the red light of 92 and Nebo Road. Do we really need another package store right there? If this was built 13 years ago, I'd been all for it. I used to be a heavy drinker and I'd been all for it. But I've since cleaned up and I don't think it's a good idea. There's multiple people in my neighborhood who still have issues with alcohol, and it's already been a negative decline in my neighborhood. If you ask any Paulding County deputy about Township Drive, they know it very well because they're in there a lot. I don't mind the service station. I don't mind the convenience store. They're already selling Fireball whiskey and Southern Comfort whiskey there. I think that's more than enough that should be sold there. I understand it's going to bring more money in. I get that. However, we need to be, do we really need another liquor store? Do we need another package store? We need to bring businesses in that's going to build up Hiram and not bring it down another notch. I mean, I've been there 13 years, and I love Hiram, but I think this is going to be a detriment to the area. So I've already noticed negative things that's happened just on my property. I mean, since they've been building that property, they've cleared out land on the easement between the building and my property. So I've got lights from their building shining in my house. There's more beer and those Fireball bottles ending up in my yard. I mean, I have additional cleanup. There's been concrete dumped on my property from where they built the property. Why it's there, I don't know, but the concrete truck dumped it. I mean, like I said, it's a convenience store, it's fine, but I don't think we need another package store because all it's going to end up is it's going to end up being a paraphernalia shop where they're selling other stuff that conduces to other things. And with my history of doing those bad things, I really think it's just going to really hurt the area even more. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else that would like to speak in opposition of the applicant? Seeing none, I would like to ask the applicant if he would come back up to the podium, if you would like to address any of the concerns that you just heard from your opposition.
Yes, thank you. Frankly, I'm troubled by some of the concerns, and as I said, we're zoned, we're going to be a commercial use, and we intend to and want to be good neighbors. The site was stopped for a long period of time, but we're open, so we're going to immediately look into any issues that relate to trash and things like that, because those need to be addressed regardless of what happens here today. The same is true if there's light issues. We certainly will work with the property owner to make sure the lights are directed the right way. This is regardless of whether it's annexed and regardless of what happens here today. This is commercially zoned property. They intend to expand it, and there will be commercial uses there. So we do want to be good neighbors. On the package store issue, my client's done a marketing study and determined that there's a need. I know you often hear with package stores that they're a detrimental use and they cause a lot of problems, but I know the county's really proud of the new package stores that they've opened. And this will be a new modern package store, and we'll go to every measure to make sure that it doesn't bring detrimental elements to the neighborhood. It'll be well lit, it'll be well policed as far as, IDs. I do understand that there are people who have issues with alcohol, and I've experienced that and family members have. But you can't address that by just not selling alcohol anywhere. I mean, this would be an issue that I guess the city of Hiram will have to look at to see whether they, looking on their map, feel that this is a good location and whether an additional package store is needed. But my clients looked at it and they've plotted where they are and the distances and the quality and quantity of the existing stores. And they feel like there's a need here and they're prepared to invest their money in doing that. And we appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, sir. Now, I know at the very beginning, you had asked Mr. Robinson if he could ask, or if you could hear the
Yes.
stipulations, and I know you've not had a tremendous amount of time to review those, but with those stipulations that you have heard, are you agreeable to those stipulations on behalf of your client?
Most certainly, and if I may, I would like to speak with you afterwards and get you my contact information so we can see what we can do about your concerns. We are agreeable to the stipulations. We do have a dialogue going already with the DOT, and it'll be a good discussion, I think, about the nature of the traffic study. This site was already developed and the entrances are put in, and we'll, of course, be lobbying that there isn't any need, but ultimately, we'll have a mature conversation. We'll provide them whatever traffic report or study they need.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask the county attorney, is whiskey allowed to be sold along with beer? I thought that beer did not include the sale of whiskey.
I would say generally no, but I'd have to look at the definitions under state law. Generally, you have a three-way separation: wine, beer, and distilled spirits. Whiskey is going to fall into your distilled spirits category. Generally, I would say, without looking at it any more deeply, that probably distilled spirits should not be sold there unless there's some sort of exception under state law for a lower quantity, but I do not know for certain on that.
Technically, Paulding County is a dry county, except for certain nodes that's been accepted. And to my knowledge, that's not one of those nodes.
Yeah, we have two approved distilled spirits package stores, one in the north and one in the south.
Right.
Mr. Leggett, I've wondered about that in like Kroger. They sell the hard mics and things like that, and I think the percentage of alcohol is a determination, and the distributors distribute it based on the licenses that are provided. So I think they can, but it's a lower percentage alcohol is the reason it's allowed.
But I wouldn't think whiskey's, a lower percentage like that.
I could see, as Mr. Larkin is saying, the alcohol content has you can dress up a package and make it look like whiskey, but the alcohol content may be at such a point that it doesn't qualify under state law. That particular item I'd have to research to see where it falls.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on it, but you see it in all the grocery stores and everything, the hard mics and all those different kind of things. And so somehow it works within that license.
Are there any additional questions to the applicant?
I do have one from Mr. Phillips. One motion will cover both the application and the SUP?
Yes, your recommendation is going to be for both. Well, you're going to consider both of those. Whether or not you treat them the same is up to y'all.
And with the annexation request to the city, does it still go to the Board of Commissioners, or does it go straight to the city?
No, what will happen based on your recommendation will go straight to the city. The city will then have a separate public hearing for zoning purposes. The city will then also have a separate issue regarding whether or not they're going to accept an annexation. If they vote to annex, then they will vote on what the zoning should be. If they vote to deny annexation, property will remain what it is out in the county without a change.
But then can it go to the Board of Commissioners for approval, or does it?
Board of Commissioners is not going to be looking
Okay.
at it at all.
That's my question.
Just to be clear, I know that was said earlier, since this is a city of Hiram, the Hiram City Council will be looking at it and not the Paulding County Board of Commissioners.
All right, so before us, we have a application and a special use permit that are concurrent with each other. First application has got 2 listed stipulations, and the special use has got 1 stipulation. Both are being recommended for approval by staff, by county staff. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve with all the stipulations as listed.
Have a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second.
Mr. Chair, just to clarify Mr. Callahan's motion, is that both applications? That's both applications? Thank you.
Have a second by Mr. Aston. All those in favor? All opposed? So that will be, and then want to confirm, Mr. Rexstraw, you are abstaining? So that will be 4, let's see, 4, 2, and 1 for approval. Mr. Robinson, if you would like to present the next application for review.
Next application, 2026-06Z, application by Jesus Rodriguez requesting to rezone 1.76 acres from R2 Suburban Residential District to B1 General Business District for the relocation and proposed development of a 6,000 square foot restaurant. Property is located in land lot 682, District 3, Section 3. The proposed site is located on the corner intersection of Old Dallas Ackworth Road North and Crossroads Drive, and it's on the west side of Dallas Ackworth Highway. Seeing Commission Post 1. Staff has recommended approval with 5 stipulations, and we have had correspondence, numerous correspondence in support of this rezoning, and we've had correspondence that is in opposition.
If the applicant would like to come forward. Please again record your name in the ledger and state your name for the commission.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having us here today. Like I say, I mean, I don't know what to say, to be honest. This is my first time doing something like this, so.
If you can go ahead and state your name for us. Just
My name is Jesus Rodriguez.
Thank you, sir. For your application, you were applying for the rezoning of this parcel of land. If you don't mind, go ahead and kind of speak to us for what what your intent is for the rezoning.
The application is to rezone the restaurant, which are currently on Dallas Highway, called Los Maguey's. And since we've been forced to close down the business, we would like to relocate, and we would like to stay on the community as well. The community has been great to us, so that's the reason why we would like to stay on this area as well.
Do we have any questions for the applicant?
I'll start. Yeah, Mr. Rodriguez, so you're currently moving from your existing location to this particular location. I think most people know where your existing location was, and can I get some clarification on how to pronounce the restaurant? I've heard it said so many different ways that I don't know if it's Magooey's, McGee's, Maguy's. What is the official? Let's get that out first.
The right name is Los Maguey's.
McGee's.
Yes,
Okay, so now we all know. So when we get directions and people tell us where they're going to meet us for
And I
lunch.
think we were all wrong.
I think we've heard it so many different ways. But back to the chairman's question, if I understand correctly, you're being forced out of your other location. Was it sold, and that's why you're looking to move?
That is right, yes.
Okay, and you own this parcel, and you're going to develop this parcel?
If everything is approved, yes.
Okay, and you're aware of the 5 stipulations or the stipulations that staff has added to this for what you will have to do in addition to whatever development regulations require when you come through to develop the parcel?
That is right, yes.
Okay. That's really all I had. Gaze. All right.
Are there any additional questions to the applicant?
Mr. Rodriguez, how long have you guys been at the intersection of 92 and Dallas Highway?
So that restaurant has been since 2006. It's been a family business, and I'm currently on the business since 2013 myself. So it's been almost 20 years.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Will the restaurant, will it be bigger? Is this a bigger footprint or larger than what you currently had?
The size of the restaurant, as far as the capacity, it might be a little bit more, about maybe 40 more seating, but we were looking to have a little bit more parking as well, since we having issues with the parking. So.
I believe you said in your statement there was going to be 200, seating for 200, is that true?
That is right, yes.
Okay. And the building you're on now, you're in now, do you own that building, or is?
No, sir. Yes, Lizzie.
That's one you leased in prior history?
Yeah.
Okay. I know one of the issues that we've been seeing is access to the old Dallas Hackworth. Is it a possibility that you would be able to do your restaurant and now not have access to Dallas Hackworth due to the traffic concerns? I know there's a lot of traffic concerns there. And always have been in the past, even when it was Grogan's store on the corner, Dallas Hackworth, they had a lot of accidents going into the road there. And maybe that might be a way, during plan review, I know there are a lot of things that you would have to do to improve that intersection there. Might be a possibility that you would not use Dallas Hackworth?
I have to get my architect on this because I don't really understand like the question. Is that good if we can do that, or?
While they're talking, can I ask DOT Director a question? And congratulations on that. That is, on the GDOT widening of 92, is there going to be a curb cut for where Crossroads come out? There is. Were we requiring that they have two accesses for this? Were we requiring the old Dallas Ackworth access to kind of go with Mr. Leggett's question? Okay, so if they submit it without that access and it works, it's okay with a singular access? And then, okay, and the Crossroads Drive will have a left turn capability onto 92 North? Did you look? I did not look either.
So there's a median break from 92 onto Crossroads Drive, and then from Crossroads Drive, there is a left in, right out.
Okay. Because that would be the other reason for going out. I mean, even with a singular access, so everybody understands, if you turn left on Crossroads, you still can go to Old Dallas and still come out the other way. So removing that access doesn't prevent any of us that go there or anybody that visits from making a left and still going out to where the old intersection was, where Grogan's and everything. It's obviously changed now, and getting to the light. So that was the question for where I was going with that. Will you still be able to get out without having to go to the light?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think due to the left turn lane onto 92 off of Cedar Crest, it'd be almost impossible to make a left-hand turn off of Dallas Ackworth at this point, because the way the traffic on Cedar Crest piles up, waiting on the red light to turn, it'd be hard to make a left-hand turn off of Dallas Ackworth. Probably is now, as far as that goes.
Yeah, onto 92 to
Yeah.
the north.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by the two accesses, one off of Crossroads and one off of Old Dallas. Either way, most people are probably going to turn and go to the light. So eliminating that access is probably not going to eliminate the traffic down Old Dallas.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're getting ready to move in your new establishment. So now you're there. How often do you plan to have a garbage pickup?
A garbage pickup?
Yes.
Right now, on the current location, we have 3 times a week. We got Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays. So I would say something similar to that.
Are there any additional questions to the applicant?
I have another question here. What about, are you gonna have, what kind of outside activities does your restaurant have? Do you have just an outside eating area where you played loud music, stuff like that? You're gonna be very close to some residences along
Yeah,
Dallas Ackworth.
we have that in consideration as well. Probably not play the music that we've been playing so far, considering to the houses being close to it. So I can definitely work. I can work with that.
Because what's the noise ordinance? Is it 10 or 11 o'clock now? Still, they have to.
10.
Yes.
So you would still have to abide by the noise ordinances with that.
That is
also.
right. Yes.
That's all I have right now.
Are there any additional questions?
Just to clarify, is there an outdoor eating section
On the new restaurant,
on the new?
we propose that there will be, yes.
In your architecturals, do you show where that is? I mean, you have your architect with you, but is that proposed outside eating on the 92 side of the building? Is it on the sides? Is it on the rear?
I'm Kevin Donaldson with Donaldson Architects. We haven't defined that yet. So depending on the issues with the community, talking back and forth with the community, we can position that patio to be in the least disruptive location, or the most acceptable location with the neighbors.
If you don't mind, sir, could you repeat your name?
Kevin Donaldson. Donalson.
All right, thank you.
And one more question concerning that outdoor seating area. I know you said that the restaurant itself would seat 200. How many of that would be in the outside seating area?
That's a good question. We haven't get into that point yet, to be honest.
How long, Mr. Rodriguez, how long have you owned this property?
I believe it's 2021. The 21 Crossroads. About 5 years, maybe.
Any more questions for the applicant? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll have an opportunity for you to come back up in a moment. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on behalf or for the applicant? If you don't mind, you can come to the lectern. Again, just a reminder, the speaking portion is cumulative, so just be mindful of those that are behind you. And then as you approach the lectern, please, again, make sure that you sign in, and please state your name before you start your the discussions.
Well, good afternoon, Planning and Zoning Commission, and also the Board of Commissioners, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for all you do. My name is Mike Register, and I think that approving this Los Maguey's, it gives the residents choices. As we look at Paulding County and the growth of Paulding County, it's the 13th most populous county in Georgia of the 159 counties that we have in Georgia, with about a 2.7% plus growth rate each year. I know the board of the chamber said that one of their priorities is the 278 corridor, right? But how about the Cedar Crest area? We need restaurants there. We need choices there. I think Los Maguey's has been a staple of the community. I think that the ownership of Los Maguey's has shown that it is a viable business model that brings income into the county. And again, as a county resident for a total of about 20 years, I would love to see Los Maguey's build a new place and continue to give my family choices on where we can go in and sit down, have a good time with quality food. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karen Murphy. I'm just a resident and a customer of the restaurant. I realize they're being forced out of their location now, and they have to do something. Myself and many other people I know in the area, it's a very well-loved and well-respected restaurant. We would like to see it be able to stay in business and stay in the area. And like he said, we need some stuff around here. We just don't really have a lot of restaurants. And it's very good, it's very reasonable. They treat their customers right. I think if there's any way they can figure out the traffic and all that, I think a lot of people would very much appreciate it if you would allow them to do that rezoning. So, do I need to sign right here?
Yes, ma'am.
And I always call it Los Magueyes, so I guess it's Los Magueyes, right?
I'm keeping tally of how many you have.
Do my best.
To prove my point.
What he said.
Hello, I'm Ashley Shell. I have been a customer at Los Maguey's for almost 20 years, since I was 4 or 5 years old. Los Begues has been an integral part of our community since I was 4 or 5. My family has become close with the staff there, and I don't want to lose this pillar in our community. We've laughed together, celebrated together, and cried together. Los Begues is such an amazing place with such kind and amazing staff, it would be devastating to lose. Thank you for your time.
My name is Chris DePere, and I'm a resident, but I live about 20 minutes away. I go here about twice a week. The main thing about this place, yeah, the food's good, drinks are good. It's really the people and the management. I've known them for years now, about 5 years, and there's no other place that I go and I get fist bumps, 4 or 5 people. People say hello. No other place. I'm in construction, so I work in Roswell, Alpharetta, Woodstock, all those other places. There's not a place like this. I say we need to keep it. So that's it.
Thank you, sir.
My name's Don Williams. I've been going to Los Begues at least 20 plus years. If it wasn't for like all the road work and everything that's going on in that area, everybody understands growth. But if they weren't being forced out of this building that they're going to tear down, they would still be there and we wouldn't be here today. It's been part of the community. You can go there at any point on certain days, and there's all the activities include for children, the bingo, karaoke. And as of right now, you were talking about as far as getting out, turning left. There's so much craziness going on right now, I don't think any of us actually know how it's going to look when it's finished. So it's kind of hard to, predict that right now. I just know that, it doesn't make sense for them if they have a plot of land and it needs zoning, that's fine. But it also, at the same time, once something goes there, it's going to fill up all the way down. It's going to become business like crazy on that side of the road anyways. And it's doing it now. Every time we turn around, we're getting a storage facility or a car wash, And there's like 4 decent restaurants down there. La Bamba, The Box. You got, what is it, something, Mama Negro's or something like that. And then Los Begues. So, in my eyes, there should be a little bit of kind of welcome the business that wants to stay, because we don't want to see it go. And we would still be, like I said, we'd be there probably right now having a margarita or some lunch, whatever. But it's a big part of the community. And believe me, as it grows newer, we're really going to miss the old, what it is now, because that's what keeps us coming back over and over again. So I just hope everybody realizes that it is community, no matter how you look at it. And there's, everything could be worked out, so thank you.
Good afternoon, Andy Rose. I live in Crossroads. We moved there a little over 11 years ago, and even my little kids call it Tiny Town. Our little Crossroads community is like this little tiny town that's not tiny anymore, right? We don't have a lot of options. We're generally going into Ackworth or further down Cedar Crest to actually go to restaurants. Maguey's has always been the place that we go. When we first moved there, that was the first thing. You got to go try Magoo's, right? Because that's what everybody called it. Now we know the proper name, but hey, if you've got that many nicknames, that means you're just loved even more. I will talk on the construction, because I live in Rosewood Park, that's behind the Kroger there at Crossroads. It's been a traffic nightmare. Storage unit, 92 expansion, all of that. By the time this thing, I would say, is built and completed, that section of 92 should be finished. So the left turn, I don't think is going to be an issue. On top of the fact, if we're going to have a Tractor Supply Company across 92 from this intersection, then you're going to have the same issues, right? Different types of business, but you're still going to have same issues. People are going to make it work. If they want to go there and they want to leave there, they're going to make it work. I don't think the traffic is going to be that big of a deal because as I've seen this 92 stuff happen and change happen and all that stuff, we've made our own way to get in and around all of these turns. So I don't think that's a big deal. Thank you.
All right, how y'all doing? I'm Rory. For 20 years, I was also 6 years old, and I'd come up to, I'm always going to call it Magooey's. That's just what I can't change that. I used to walk up there when I was 8, 9 years old. I'd cut grass, and I'd walk up there for cheese dips and sweet tea. Now I'm 25. I'd come up there for karaoke. There were some concerns about loudness. I'm up there every weekend pretty much, and I've never seen a complaint happen. I've lived in college towns where cops roll by and you got to shut things down. Kind of speaks to the owners, and they keep a check on that. But I just wanted to say my little bit that that's got to be approved.
All right, can you state your name again?
Yeah, Rory King, Rory.
And did you sign in?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rod Bowler. I've been a frequent goer to Los Maguey's for 13 years. Became good friends with the owners, Chewy, Renee, the manager, Danny. And I've never felt anything but less than family. That's all I got to say. Family, community, value. They provide service. I've seen people come in for the smallest things for Chewy for donations. Smallest things. Some girls that were just bringing nothing that anybody would want. He still supported them, even though they did not live there. These people have been great to me, great to my family, and great to everybody that I personally know. So I would say to y'all, please let them do what they need to do with their stipulations. That's great. But it's a value to the community, and it would be a discredit to the community in Paulding County if y'all do not let this go through. Thank you for your time.
And just to let everybody know, we have roughly 4 minutes left for speaking on behalf of the application or the applicant.
Hello, my name is Urban Vasquez. I've been a customer for about 15 years. I just wanted to know, let the people know and you guys, the reason this is happening is not because Chewy is being greedy, trying to buy up property, expand his restaurant. The only reason this is happening is because it was forced out. And I know he asked the owner of the building before if he would sell it to him. He never gave him a price. He always said no. Long story short, came out of nowhere, you got to get out of here. So he already owned that property where his mom used to live. So it's not like he's, affecting the community in a way because he's building where he already owns. So he's not pushing anybody out of the community or, the only problem might be the houses around, but I know he would be willing to work with anybody to make it work. So, thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Jen Fitzpatrick, and I'll sign in just a minute. You guys heard my rezoning not too long ago because we used to live across the street from Los Maguey's down in a subdivision, and we moved further out here to do some agricultural zoning. And I just wanted to say that we have been there since the beginning, and we love them. And my family has 3 kids, and the oldest was 4 when we started, but these 2 weren't even born. And so they have seriously been customers their whole lives. And same thing with the family. When we walk in, you always get the smile. You always get the, how are you doing? We go there every Sunday, almost every Sunday after church, and have been for 20 years. And when they see you in the grocery store or They saw us on the Jumbotron at the Braves one time. They made sure to comment and let us know that they were watching. And so it's more to speak to the family and the community that we want them here. And so whatever needs to happen, we are in support. Thank you.
We've got 2 minutes left. Or is there anyone else that would like to speak on behalf of the applicant or the application?
I'll sign in. My name is Jeff Atwood. I've been going there for about 20 years. Chewy has always been a remarkable steward of the community. I know that there are individuals here that are concerned quite a bit about noise ordinance. Chewy is the kind of person that if there's an issue, he'll address it. There are things that can be put in place that Chewy, I'm sure, would consider, whether it's technology, it's sound controls, it's changing time, whatever needs to happen, Chewy would do it. He is very concerned about the community. Even in my personal life, my daughter got hit by a car back in October. She had surgery, 6 broken bones in her pelvis. He donated $500 for her care, just out of the kindness of his heart. So that's the kind of person Chewy is. He'll do whatever it needs to happen to make sure this is a good thing for the entire community. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak on behalf of the applicant? We have approximately 1 minute and 15 seconds left. So we'll reserve that for after any potential opposition that we would have. So at this point, if you are opposed to the applicant or you have questions regarding the applicant, if you would please come to the lectern. And as before, please make sure you sign in and state your name.
Thank you. My name is Bruce Bishop, and I reside at 469 Dallas Ackworth Road. Before I go in any opposition, may I ask what the stipulations were? I'm not aware of those. Or is that a time to ask that? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the stipulations that have been recommended by the staff is stipulation number 1 is owner developer agrees access to the development shall be determined during the plan review process. So kind of just to give a quick recap of that, the plan review process is things are submitted to the county for making sure that the water department, the Department of Transportation, and all applicable, departments have an opportunity to look at it, make sure that they review it, and put in any kind of necessary changes or requirements that may need be for what they are doing for that development. I'll just go ahead and, I know you've got...
I see these here, so if everyone else is okay with it, I'm fine, if y'all don't want to explain them all.
I'm going to, just because it was a question,
Okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and review it for everybody since
Thank
we've
you.
already started, just so everybody can hear the same information. So the second stipulation is the owner-developer agrees to donate a 60-foot right-of-way along their property frontage on Old Dallas Ackworth Road north, so that would be 30 foot from center line. The third is owner-developer agrees to donate a 60-foot right-of-way along the property frontage on Crossroads Drive, 30 foot from center line. 4 is owner-developer agrees to donate a right-of-way miter of 25 foot at the intersection of Old Dallas Ackworth Road North and Crossroads Drive. And number 5 is owner-developer agrees that accessing along Crossroads Drive that encroaches within the active construction limits of the State Route 92 widening project, PI 0006857 project, will be coordinated and approved by the Georgia Department of Transportation.
All right. Thank you so much. I am actually speaking on behalf of my neighbors. Again, my name is Bruce Bishop. Thank you for your time. I don't know. I want to make sure, first of all, I dropped off a packet last week. Did y'all all receive that? Do you have that in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure you guys had that, so thank you. So just to recap our little road there, it's been there for probably 45 plus years. I'm probably the second newest resident. I've been there 25 years. We average 35 to 47 years of people along our road. And nothing against, Los Mags, what they're saying. I understand people love the thing. That's great and all. It's just where it's going to be in the proximity to our homes. And I know everyone here loves the place, but I doubt that anyone would want that place less than 1,000 feet from your front door, looking at the back of that restaurant, listening to the noise and all that. But my concern, there's a lot of concerns that we have. I'll just address one concern. Old Dallas Ackworth Road, the road that you're saying it dumps out on and people are going to cut through, that road's 20 foot wide. It's not even 24 feet wide like most standard roads. There's no striping on that road. Right now, when they built Russum, when you pass cars, you have to slow down. You can't hardly pass. So it's just going to bring traffic along the road past our house. 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, they're going to be open. And we're going to have to deal with that traffic. And there's a school at the end of the road. And I just think, it's just prone for accidents and things of that nature. The thing I'm concerned about, everyone's saying, well, we hate for them to shut down this place to go away. There's other places they can go in the community that's already zoned this. We don't have to rezone this residential property. So there's other places they can go. So this isn't the only place in Paulding County. If people are driving 20 minutes to get there, they're going to drive 20 minutes somewhere else or 15. So I don't think this is the ideal location or necessarily the only location for this place to be. If you look at some of the photos I put at the proximities of the home, most of our home is elderly people. We have widows. We have disabled people. Just people have lived there their whole life, and we moved and built our homes there because it was zoned residential, and we wanted to protect ourselves. If this goes in and it's rezoned, we're going to be. You're not just the traffic. I know people are talking about the noise. They have a deck now, and this plan doesn't show a deck. And a year from now, he goes in and builds a deck. They have karaoke, that deck. The noise ordinance says 50 feet. We can hear that almost from our house now at night. It's loud. They're in a commercial district now, but now it's going to be right in our backyard. So we're going to have to listen to that every day, 7 days a week. Also, one thing I wanted to mention was if you look at that, I know you say he's good for his community, but no disrespect, it's filthy if you look behind the place now, and there's photos in there. It's absolute filth. There's trash. There's old microwaves. There's just junk. There's food. Look in the photos. That's what we're going to stare at. And you can say, oh, I'll clean up. I can go back to Google Maps to 2015, and it shows trash behind that place. So he can say he's going to clean up and I'll do better, but we're going to stare at that, and we're going to smell that. And then and there's disease, rats, all that comes along with that. We don't want that in our community. So that's one thing we're afraid of. And you say, he's a part of the community, and I know everyone likes it. We have people who have retired from the school system. We have teachers on our road. We have people who've worked and lived in Paulding County, pay taxes for 40 years. This is going to probably decrease our home values. No one's going to want to ever buy our home, or if we sell our home, because there's a Mexican restaurant. One gentleman who was here was talking about the lighting. There's going to be big lights. At night, we're used to it being quiet and dark. There's going to be lights for the parking lot. There's loitering now. I know he doesn't have parking. People go to the Kroger parking lot afterwards. People are going to be loitering around. If it's outside seating, I'm not lying, from our front porch, we won't be able to see people hanging out in a parking lot. It's just, this photo doesn't show that or the plan. But if you look at the photos we see, I'm not opposed to this restaurant. I'm not opposed to him building, but somewhere else. I don't think there's not anyone in here that would want this establishment next door. You can love it, and if you would want it next door, I hope you have the property where they can move next door, but I don't think anyone would want this next door. I understand if we don't want it rezoned at all to business. If this was something like a doctor's office, it was open 8 to 5 and closed on weekend, not open at night, but we're going to have people drinking alcohol, coming down a road at 11 o'clock at night that's narrow. There's going to be trash, because there's trash now. There's going to be loud music. If you look at the deck now, it's deplorable. The plastic's all ripped up. This is what we're going to stare at. He hasn't kept the place up. And I know he's renting, but still, if you don't keep it up now, you're not going to keep it up later. That's the way I look at that. But I just think and also, I did go back and look at some crime stats for 3 last years. He's had loitering issues. They had someone at their back door. They had to call the cops. There's been homeless people at Kroger. They're going to come down to that area possibly now and right in our neighborhood. There's been hit and run. There's been car break-ins. There's been battery. So there's crime because there's alcohol and partying. Everyone thinks it's a restaurant. It is a restaurant, but it's a party place and everyone knows it. And that's okay, but not where we live. And all that's going to flow over into our neighborhood. And, you know, we're scared that there's going to be crime. I mean, literally, and I know she doesn't mind me saying, there are 2 widows that are going to live right, one lives across and one right there. They're scared to death that there's going to be people drinking and coming into their yards and things like that just for what we see now. So just based on the history, we don't want to rezone at all. I just don't think this is a good fit for our neighborhood and our community. I know everyone loves the place, and again, I wish them the best of luck. I just don't wish them the best of luck right here at this piece of property. If this is approved, it's going to jeopardize our quality of life. We're going to have to look at trash, neon signs, hear loud music, smell trash, face dumpsters, deal with traffic on a small road. And again, this is a community that we've been there, some of these residents, 40 years, and caused no problems. And it's just, we understand. No, we're not stupid. We know that 92's development. We know businesses are going to go in. We understand that, and we know we're close to that intersection. We know we're close to that. But this place, at 10 o'clock at night, when I want to sit on my front porch and I'm hearing karaoke music and I'm seeing cars just coming down Old Dallas Sackworth Road, and people, you know, it's just not good for us, and it's not a good mix. It's just not a good location. If you look at that right there, people aren't going to go out on 92. They're going to take a right, and they're going to go down by Ruston to get out, or they're going to come in out behind the Dunkin' Donuts to go down Cedar Crest. They're going to be going up and down our road as well. So I just think it's just opening up. I do have, for what it's worth, like I said, not all the neighbors can come or could come. I have petitions for everybody who's not in agreement from my neighbors. You know, this plan, you know, he can go in there and say anything. Y'all approve this, and I'm just afraid after it's approved, next thing you know, we got the same trash problems that he has now. There's going to be a deck there with dirty ripped plastic. You look at the photos, and that's what we're going to wake up and see every day when we pull out of our driveway. And when we go to bed at night, that's what we're going to hear. And we've paid taxes for a long time. We lived there, not only he's been there 20 years. We've been there 35, 40 years. And if a business has to go there, y'all's comp plan says something should blend in the crossroads communities. And I read the comp plan. That neon signs and karaoke, that doesn't blend in. I know no one cares about it. It was a deer on that piece of property this morning when I went to work. It's not going to blend in at all. It's different if it was hidden. It's not going to be hidden. It's going to be in plain view of our homes. And all the trees will be cut down, and we're going to be staring at this and hearing this and smelling it. So I could say more. I trust that you guys read the packet. They had all this information that backed up what I talked about. I know Miss Joanne may want to say something real quick. She's one of probably the closest neighbor to the establishment. So thank you for your time and your consideration. Oh, and one last thing. I didn't know this. Could you put stipulations if you said if we pass this, which we don't want it passed, there'll be no music or there'll be no outdoor decks or something, or this property can only be for a business that operates, you know, between 8 and 6. I don't know those kind of things. But this place, I'm just saying, if, you know, we might could deal with that. This is going to be hard to deal with, to live the rest. I planned on retiring there. I don't know. You know, I don't know now if anyone would buy my home. So, thank you.
Also, I would like to address the public portion of this. If you don't mind, we're actively trying to listen to everybody. So if you don't mind, if we can keep the conversations and some of the things, the side conversations and the noise to a minimum, because it does get a little bit hard for us to be able to hear everybody. And we want to make sure that we have the appropriate, we want to have the ability to be able to hear everybody for what they've got. So if we can just make sure that we kind of keep it down in the audience. Thank you.
How long do I have?
You have 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
Thank you. Okay, my name is Joanne Bullington. I live, if you see the corner of Old Dallas and Crossroads Drive, my driveway is 100 paces from there, 100 paces, another 40 to my front door. My bedroom window is 100 feet from that corner. I have lived there for 46 years. My husband and I moved there in 1980. Grogan's store was the only, things have changed. And through all of these changes, I've adapted. Kroger there used to be cows where the Kroger is. It's okay, change happens. This is something I cannot adapt to. This is something that will be nonstop in my life. I'm 77 years old. I lost my husband's ashes are there. I don't want to leave this place. I have 2.5 acres. When the leash law happened, I fenced in my yard. I obey the law. I pay taxes. I've served on juries. 3 juries in Paulding County. I go to sleep at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I leave my windows open. I have 2 little goldfish ponds and a nature pond. I live outside on my property. This is going to force me indoors. It's going to be 12 hours a day, from 9 in the morning when the staff arrives and the delivery trucks until after midnight. And they're going to be serving alcohol, and these people are going to come on my road. I have never been afraid. Never. Even after my husband died. Never once have I been afraid. But these people, and it's not all of them, but there's going to be some bad ones. And they're going to be drinking, and they're going to be partying, and they're not going to want to leave at 11. And they're going to find my nice little secluded driveway, or my neighbors. And what do? Call 911 every time I get scared? This is going to put yourself in my position. Every day for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, I'm going to be living with this, day and night. I will not be able to go to sleep without listening to the noise. I will not be able, I'll have to, I don't know what I'll do to protect my property. The other thing I wanted to say that I don't know that anybody knows, but this is a pre-civil, Old Dallas Ackworth Road. When I moved there in 1980, people were still talking about how it was a pre-Civil War road. It was a dirt road. We would not be able to move our cars with the kind of rain we've been having lately. Crossroads Drive was created, wasn't even a road, it was created by the neighbors before me, but it was 2 little tracks, and you could go down it as long as you stayed on the tracks. It was like 20 years later before the county took it over and gave it a name. When I moved there, Old Dallas Ackworth, we called that the old road. 92 was the new road. But this is a pre-Civil War little pocket. This was the original road. It's not just something to be trashed and discarded and thrown away. And I don't know what I can do. Nobody will buy my property with this on. Nobody. Who would? And I want to be there. My husband's ashes are there. My dogs have been buried there. I walk that little road with my dogs every day, and I've done that for 40 years. How can I do that? What choices will I have? I may as well move into their parking lot. I may as well sell my house for nothing and buy a RV and live in their parking lot for all the privacy and quality of life I'll have. So, I was one of the first customers at Russ McGuay's. We were glad to have it where it is, where it belongs. So please, this is, I know it's about business, and we, as Mr. Bishop said, we know that there's, commercialization along 92, but keep it along 92, not old Dallas Ackworth Road. If you've never seen this road, you wouldn't believe how special it is. It's so semi-rural still. I imagine most of the people who enjoy Los Mogues have never been there. And I'm glad they haven't. I don't want them there. I don't want anyone there. I don't want a party in my front yard. There's more to zoning. And you guys are planners, plan the whole community.
You have approximately 1 more minute
Thank
left.
you. All I'm saying is, give us a plan for the whole community. Our community, not the whole big Paulding, but our local community, so that we can have some input, because we've just been blindsided by this, and now I have no choices. And this is just a very special place, and this is going to destroy it forever. And I'm sorry, and as Bruce said, there's plenty of places they can go. There's plenty of restaurants they can go to. Plenty of places they can put the restaurant. And it doesn't have to be in my front yard, 100 feet from my bedroom window. What am I going to do? Are you going to give me, maybe they'll buy me out for a price I like, I don't know. So anyway, that's all I have to say, and I hope they can find another place, because this is going to kill me. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies.
Thank you. We have exhausted the 15 minutes of public discussion. If there is anyone else that would like to speak in opposition, we can entertain a motion to extend the discussion. So is there anyone else that would like to speak in opposition of the application? All right. If we could have the Mr. Rodriguez back and come, we can address him and he can have an opportunity to kind of discuss a little bit. And I will say that, again, as we go through these proceedings, as we are having questions back and forth with the applicant, that does not count against their time, but as you were addressing us and kind of addressing some of the concerns that you heard, it does. So you have roughly a minute and a half of time. But similarly, if you have exhausted your time, we could entertain a motion if the committee so chooses.
No problem, thank you. I don't really know a lot what to say, to be honest. As far as on the say the pictures that he have on the back of the restaurant right now, it is some piece of equipment over there in the back. Like I say, I do not own that commercial shopping center. We've been paying rent over there the whole time. We've been talking to the landlord many times where if he could put like concrete on the back or fix the back or gravel or something, that was something that he would not do it. I mean, that's not on us. As far as the plastics he was talking about the patio, we basically, we don't want to replace those plastics anymore since we are about to get out of the restaurant, to be honest. So if they build a patio in the next building, they're not going to have plastics anymore. We talked to the architect where there'll be these kind of like sliding windows, not plastic or anything like that, so it will not look bad. So they'll be actually try to build a nice building where it doesn't have to be an ugly building like he said that we have right now. So, and like I said, I don't know what else to say, to be honest, man.
You have 4 seconds remaining, so it
sounds
like you.
I thank everybody. I thank all the support and all of you guys. Thank you.
Well, we have some additional opportunity for questioning now that we have heard the on behalf and opposition. So, again, if you don't mind, just stand there until we have exhausted those questions. So, Mr. Leggett, you said you had an additional question.
Yes, I've got some questions for the owner here. Would you be okay with a 50-foot undisturbed buffer along Old Dallas Hackworth? That would mean you would leave the trees there. You would not disturb that part of the property.
Let me ask my architect. I should be all right with it, but let me ask him, and he'll be the one that probably answer more that way.
Mr. Leggett, also removing the access to Dallas Hackworth, to Old Dallas.
Right.
So no access with a 50-foot buffer, undisturbed. That's what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
I was getting to the access.
Right, that access along Old Dallas Ackworth Road, I think that would be, it would be okay to eliminate that access point. And then as far as the buffer goes, I don't think the buffer would be that big of a problem because we're already conceding to the county more right-of-way. So that buffer would we just add a little bit to that requirement. I don't think that would be an issue.
That and along, like I say, the whole western part that borders Dallas Hackworth, like where you're showing the retention pond, things like that would give a lot of buffer and against a residential area, they would be seeing some kind of filter there. It
Right.
wouldn't be the back of the store that they would be, the building they would see it. And if you would consider the patio, if you're gonna have a patio, it be on the eastern side of the building where it would be facing Highway 92. And that would reduce some of the noise.
I think those I think those are acceptable. And when it comes to buffers, I think we need to be careful about how we describe the buffers. If they're undisturbed buffers.
Undisturbed buffers is what I'm saying.
Then that.
Setbacks shown on their building line, current building line, at 40.
I think it's 25. I can't see it from here.
The building setback along Old Dallas.
Right. Looks like it's 25.
A quick question to go with those two questions. I understand where Mr. Rayshaw's going with this question. Your parking, I mean, this is going to change your parking configuration. Is your parking spaces currently at the minimum or above what you need for
They're
the requirements? Okay.
Right. And going back to the buffer, if we talk about an undisturbed buffer, that means it stays just like it is, just like it sits today.
Exactly.
Correct.
So no beautification, no shrubbery, no mulch, no pine straw.
Undisturbed means undisturbed.
Okay.
And if he puts it on that eastern side or the western side along the entire frontage of Old Dallas, it will affect your detention facility.
It will.
So you'll have to make it deeper or potentially underground or something separate.
Right. Yeah. We can engineer that.
Okay.
That's what I would like to see as far as the additional motions on, that would be,
So let's ask a few questions of staff real quick to go with it. Mr. Robinson, future land use does show this as what? What's the future land use show this parcel?
It's adjacent to a crossroads community and along an employment corridor. Both of those character areas would recommend a commercial development.
And that allows for restaurants or offices or anything. Lighting requirements. What are lighting requirements on any of these overlays?
It's within the corridor overlay district also, and that would require landscaping, architectural features and such on the materials of the building, as well as down face lighting, shielded lighting, box lighting.
And then question for Ms. Paris, DOT, Old Dallas, is there any, I see you're asking for right-of-way from the applicant. Is there any plans for improvements of Old Dallas? I mean, if future land use shows, if it shows continuing down Highway 92, we got to assume the north side of Crossroads Drive also potentially could come in for commercial, if it's not already commercial. And something else also access Crossroads that may in turn drive people on to Old Dallas, Ackworth.
Correct. So currently, there is no plans for Old Dallas Ackworth North.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons, we've asked for the right-of-way, is that corridor, as Ms. Bullington shared, was just an old road that got paved one day. So we do not have the right-of-way along that corridor to improve that road currently.
Okay, and that's why you need the right-of-way.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wooten, from a water and sewer standpoint, some of the pictures that some of the opposition was showing, you can see grease traps above ground. We don't do those any longer. This particular one will have in-ground grease traps, so that stuff will be hidden.
That's correct.
Okay. And the water sewer capacity is good for the restaurant? No issues?
No issues, but they will have to make a fairly long run to tie to sewer.
Okay. What's the closest sewer right here?
The closest sewer right here is from the building, it's about 1,400 feet away.
Okay. Back down
It's
92.
back at the intersection this way.
Okay.
We've had some buildings extended hundreds of feet just to tie on to the sewer, but the last manhole is up the street.
Is that going to be around Dunkin' Donuts, that area?
Correct.
Okay. Is that's going to go across parcels in between those. So you guys understand that? Have you looked at
Yes.
your
We
sewer
have looked
access?
at a couple of different options.
Okay.
Now, what are your hours of operation going to be?
Normally on Monday to Thursday, there's 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. The time that we have right now on Friday and Saturday, there'll be 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sundays 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
If those hours of operations were to be amended, would that be detrimental to your business? If you were to take those 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. end days, end times, and roll those back to like a 9 and a 10 or something like that, would that be detrimental to your business?
It will be, yes.
Mr. Robinson, did we get an answer to what that setback line is on that site plan? Is it 40 feet? That's cutting through the detention facility and through the entrance along Old Dallas? Can you see it?
It should be 40 feet. That's the requirement.
And the current buffer that's shown is only 10 feet.
There's actually not a buffer requirement.
Not required.
It's a landscape strip under the corridor overlay.
Does the current site plan shown include the additional right-of-way that's been requested?
It does not.
Okay.
Do we know what the current right-of-way there, where it varies, Ms. Parrish?
I didn't measure it. It's probably prescriptive.
It'd be 30 foot.
Yeah, I mean, just based off scale. It's probably an additional 10 more feet.
Well, to go to 60, it'd be, if it's 30,
Yeah, right
15
now.
from
10
center,
or
and then you're
15
going,
more feet.
to go to 60, you'd give up 15 more feet, which would actually put it about at the edge of the, if that's a 10-foot landscape, that's what that is a 10-foot landscape strip. So you're already talking about pushing back to the catch basin in the back of the curb on the parking area.
From an architectural standpoint, did you look at rotating the building or look at any other layouts?
The geometry of the building was generated more for parking, to get an efficient parking layout, and also just some schematic space programming, getting a rough dimension of a kitchen and a rough dimension of a dining. So that's the geometry that we came up with.
Okay. But this, again, is a preliminary. This is not your final, so it's going to change.
It'll change.
Okay.
It's pretty close.
The remainder of that open area that you're showing there from Old Dallas Acworth to the parking lot, what is that gonna be, just planted grass?
Just, right, just landscape buffer,
Okay.
just landscaped areas. An awkward triangle that's
Right.
not very useful.
Well, is there a possibility of just leaving that natural buffer also?
A lot of that will be included in that buffer that you mentioned earlier, as well as one of the stipulations from the DOT is that we
Right.
cut a 25-foot camper on that intersection, so
Okay,
that triangle will get eat up pretty fast.
all right.
Are there any additional questions to the applicant or to staff? Currently, we have a, thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Currently, we have a recommendation of approval with the 5 mentioned stipulations for the application. Do I have a motion for approval of this application, or do we have any potential adjusted stipulations that we would like to recommend? So I am asking if we have a motion that we can present.
I have a motion to approve with the 5 listed stipulations, with the additional stipulation number 6 of a 50-foot undisturbed buffer along Old Dallas Ackworth Road, and the deletion of the access on Old Dallas Ackworth Road. Number 7, the outside patio would be facing Highway 92 away from the residential area.
Now, that number 6 that you recommended, that was a 50-foot undisturbed buffer for the entire property perimeter?
Along the entire line of Dallas Ackworth Road.
Including the pond area?
Right.
Including the area of the pond?
Including the pond area. And delete the access to Dallas Ackworth Road.
Would we need to separate those as 2 independent stipulations?
There's not a need, but it might be easier to follow if there is.
It's easier for me to follow.
But doesn't the first one kind of force the second one? I mean,
There's a 6A and a 6B.
you can't have the first one, or you can't have the second one without the first one, so.
If I understand Mr. Leggett's motion, it's a motion to approve with the 5 steps, plus a 6th stip with a 50-foot buffer on the undisturbed buffer on Old Ackworth Road. Stip number 7, an elimination of the access on Old Ackworth Road, Dallas Ackworth Road. And number 8, to place a patio on the east side of the structure if one is going to be included. Hopefully.
That's right.
Okay. That is my understanding as well.
And I'll second that one.
Okay. So we have a motion to approve with the 5 listed stipulations, the 3 added stipulations that were just mentioned multiple times, with a motion from Mr. Leggett, and then we have a second from Mr. Steele. All in favor? That passes unanimous. And I know that we have got another application, but just from a personal perspective, I want to thank everybody for the public participation. That is something that we really do appreciate, because again, this is an open meeting and everybody wants to be able to hear from the public. So for those that came out, whether or not you were for or against any application that is here, I just wanted to say personally from my side that I appreciate you being here so that we can hear the voice of the community. Yeah.
Might have to go to the restroom here in a minute.
Jamie
Oh, yeah.
This is the final application for today. It's application 2026-07Z. Application by White Creek Builders requesting to rezone 10 acres from A1 Agricultural District, the R1 Rural Residential District, for the proposed development of 5-lot rural residential subdivision. Property is located in land lot 567, District 19, Section 3, west side of Woodrow K. Road and north side of Proctor Road. The address is 1174 Proctor Road. It's in Commission Post 2. Staff has recommended approval with one stip, and there's no noted opposition.
I've just signed in. My name's Brian Stover. Pretty short and sweet. It's 10-acre tract, 2 5-acre tracts right now. This is on A1, looking to go to R1, which there's already a house that's located out there right now that will be cut off with about 2 acres of land, and then look at doing 4 more lots. That would be on the average of 1.5 to 2 acres. It just seems to be, and the same builder who builds in Presley Farms would, if anyone's been out there, would be the same quality of homes. That's between $400,000 and $500,000 homes, and possibly more. Depends on, you know, the wants and the designs. But if there's any questions.
Is that access, is that the driveway that currently feeds that house that's in the back?
Correct.
It's on that 10 acres? Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have any additional questions for the applicant?
And that house style you said is going to be the same thing that they're building at Presley, the ranches, the farmhouse style?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those houses are what, 1,800 square feet roughish?
18 to 22, 2,300.
Okay.
Biggest
Usually
is about
begin
25.
Around the 18, is the small one.
Yeah.
Any additional questions? As with every development, and I know that we can quote-unquote, air quote, development on this, we're talking about 5 houses total for what you're applying for. Any type of development is still considered an impact to the district. And so with this particular one, it is very minimal. You're looking at a rough increase of estimation of 3 kids to our district, 1 per grade, 1 per elementary, 1 for middle, and 1 for high. The schools that this feeds into are Ragsdale Elementary School, which Ragsdale is currently sitting at 70% capacity. Scoggins Middle School, which Scoggins Middle School is currently sitting at 89% capacity, and then Paulding County High School. And Paulding County High School, as of right now, is one of our most densely populated high school at 115% capacity. So again, it is a very nominal amount that would be generated off of these, but a impact nonetheless. At this time, is there anyone that would like to speak on behalf of the applicant or the application? Seeing none, Is there anyone that would like to speak in opposition of the application? Seeing none, we have a application with a staff recommendation of approval with one listed stipulation. So do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve
the one listed stipulation.
I have a motion to approve one stipulation by Mr. Aston.
I'll second.
I have a second by Mr. Steele. All in favor? All opposed? Mr. Rakestraw, are you abstaining from this one as well? So, application motion passes 5, 1, and 1. Mr. Robinson, is that the last application that we have?
That is the last application. The next meeting will be on Tuesday, June 23rd, and I know it gets busy vacation in that time frame, so just let us know in advance if you can't make it, and we're grateful.
All right. Sounds like we are done for this session. We appreciate everybody that was in attendance again, and we will motion for a
Make a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn. I got one by Mr. Leggett. Do
I'll
I have a second? Second by Mr. Steele. All in favor? Motion passes.
Vote against the adjournment.
Just look up and call it out.